From the Ministry of the Presidency in Georgetown, this is This Week with the President.
Welcome to This Week with the President, a news magazine which provides you with an in-depth look at the policies, programs and work of the President of Guyana in his quest to realize the good life for all Guyanese. I am your host, Stacey Carmichael. In the highlights this week, CJ's ruling does not impinge on President's constitutional mandate. Guyana commemorates 41st anniversary of Cubana air disaster. 69 Guyanese conferred with awards. These stories and more on This Week with the President. An ideal candidate for the position of the chairman of a critical organization such as the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, must possess the qualities of impartiality, integrity, and intelligence. Qualities similar to what is expected of a former or current judge, as is defined in the Article 161(2) of the Constitution. This is President David Granger's view as the debate continues across the political arena with regard to the list of nominees which were submitted by Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bar Jagdeo. President David Granger, in keeping with Article 161(2) of the Constitution, has reaffirmed his commitment to respecting and upholding what is stated in an effort to ensure that any chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, is independent and impartial. Chief Justice Madam Roxanne George Wilshire in July ruled that a person who is selected for such a post is expected to have judge-like qualities and possess integrity, honesty, and impartiality. In addition, the CJ's ruling confirmed that it is the President, acting in his own deliberate judgment, who must determine whether a person is fit and proper. 3 lists have so far been submitted by Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bar Jagdeo, 2 of which were rejected by the head of state on the grounds that it did not meet constitutional requirements. This week, speaking to members of the media, President Granger said now that he has had some time to study the Chief Justice's report, he looks forward to convening a meeting with the Leader of the Opposition in the coming weeks to discuss the way forward.
I will continue to do what the Constitution calls upon me to do, select a person who's fit and proper. Nothing that the Chief Justice wrote has prevented me or inhibited my exercise of that authority or that power.
The head of state has reiterated that his only interest is that a name emerges out of the consultative process that matches the requirements of the Constitution and is acceptable to both the government and the opposition, and more so the people of Guyana. Guyana's security and that of the Caribbean region has always been high on the agenda of the David Granger administration. Given the ongoing threats to Guyana's territory, President Granger has consistently called for measures to be put in place for the protection of small states and reiterated the importance of regional security to their development. In light of this, the President on Thursday reiterated Guyana's commitment to ensuring that the Caribbean region is a zone of peace, even as he honored the Cubana air disaster martyrs when he joined their surviving relatives, ministers and other officials of the government and officials of the Cuban embassy here in Guyana at the Cubana air disaster monument at the University of Guyana's Turkan campus to commemorate the 41st anniversary of the terrorist act. Those gathered remembered the 11 Guyanese, Eric Norton, 18 years old, Ann Nelson, 18 years old, Sishnarayan Kumar, 18 years old, Jacqueline Williams, 19 years old, Raul Thomas, 18 years old, wife of a former Guyanese diplomat, Margaret Bradshaw, economist Gordon Suba, Violet Thomas, Rita Thomas, and 9-year-old Sabrina Harry Paul, who perished on October 6, 1976, when Cubana de Aviación Flight CU-455, when only 9 minutes after takeoff from the Barbados Sewell International Airport, now Grantley Adams International Airport, a bomb, which had been placed in the aircraft's rear lavatory, exploded. The plane went into a rapid descent while the pilot unsuccessfully tried to return to the airport. A second bomb exploded during the following minutes, causing the plane to crash. 48 passengers and 25 crew members lost their lives that day. The Guyanese on board included students and members of their families who were on their way to Cuba to study in a number of disciplines, including medicine and engineering. Also on that ill-fated flight were 5 North Koreans and Cuban passengers and crew members. Though 40 years have elapsed since this attack on the small states of the region, the President said that the passage of time has not diminished the pain felt by the relatives of the 11 Guyanese who perished.
Guyana rejects totally the use of force to settle international controversies. Guyana abhors the crime of international terrorism whenever and wherever it occurs. Guyana reassures the world of its commitment to making the Caribbean a zone of peace. Guyana remembers today the victims of the Cubana terrorist attack. We assemble annually before this monument to memorialize the human cost of international terrorism.
Guyanese today, President Granger said, remember the victims of the Cubana terrorist attack and assemble before a monument which memorializes the human cost of terrorism and to consider the political cost to small states which seek to exercise their sovereignty and independence. Cuban ambassador to Guyana, Mr. Julio Cesar Gonzalez Marchant, in his remarks said that the victims were humble workers or students and athletes who fulfilled with modesty and dedication the tasks which were assigned by their homelands. This commemoration, the ambassador said, will reaffirm the unbreakable will of Cuba to fight terrorism, its deepest rejection and condemnation of all acts, methods, and practices of terrorism in all its forms and manifestations by whomever, against whoever, and wherever they are committed, whatever their motivations are, including those in which states are directly or indirectly involved.
To strongly support the collective efforts of the United Nations against terrorism and reaffirms multilateral and bilateral cooperation to that end. Terrorists affect international effort in favor of disarmament and a world of peace, and does not agree with the proclamation of Latin America and the Caribbean as a zone of peace made by the head of state and government of this region on the occasion of the second summit of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States (ALAC), held in January 2014 in Havana, Cuba. Ladies and gentlemen, we recognize that much remains to be done in the fight against terrorism. The international community must take concrete steps toward the adoption of a general convention of this course to define it in its entirety.
It was Bob Anderson who said, "There's nothing so rewarding as to make people realize they are worthwhile in this world." As part of celebrating Guyana's national identity and recognizing those who have toiled to make Guyana a better country, Chancellor of the Orders of Guyana, President David Granger, on Friday bestowed national awards on 69 Guyanese who have served their country with distinction, ranging from the Disciplined Services Medal for Meritorious Service to the Order of Roraima for their outstanding services and sterling contributions to the people of Guyana and to the country's development. After awarding persons 3 with the Disciplined Services Medal of Meritorious Service, 2 with the Military Service Medal, 14 with the Medal of Service, 44 with the Golden Arrow of Achievement, 5 with the Cacique's Crown of Honor, and 1 with the Order of Roraima, President Granger said that Guyana is a grateful nation and this appreciation can be through the conferral of the national honors.
Awards epitomize the esteem in which the recipients are held by a grateful nation. Awards embody the exemplary service and high values of citizen success. Awards encourage others, especially the young, to emulate their elders' achievements.
National awards, the President said, promote a sense of national identity by proclaiming the values for which we stand and reflect our ambitions and aspirations to improve our quality of life and to encourage emulation. Prior to the investiture ceremony held in 2015, after the current administration took office, national awards had last been issued in 2011. Referencing this, the President said that capricious conferral of national awards must never happen again.
Every year at Independence Day, new awardees will be announced. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Honor System is a reflection of the admiration and appreciation of a grateful nation to its citizens. Awards celebrate the contribution of citizens to the common good.
I see this award as a tremendous encouragement to become better as long and for the future.
I feel as every recipient should feel a sense of pride that your nation has recognized and rewarded you with a badge of honor. And it was wonderful hearing His Excellency say that these awards are not given out frivolously.
I think it's really good, especially for the younger generation that could see what is possible through hard work and continuous service. So I'm very happy, and commend the organizers for such a splendid job.
On Monday, October 2, President Granger met with country representative of the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, Ms. Sophie McKinnon, and a team of technical officers from the advisory firm Delivery Associates to discuss the effective execution of public sector investment projects. Delivery Associates is an advisory firm that works with governments to improve effectiveness and accountability and to enhance in their capacity to deliver efficient public services to citizens across sectors. Minister of State, Mr. Joseph Harmon, Minister of Finance, Mr. Winston Jordan, and Minister of Public Affairs in the Ministry of the Presidency, Ms. Dawn Hastings-Williams, were present at the meeting, which was held at State House. 2 new ambassadors to Guyana were on Wednesday accredited by the President, Mr. Elkan Pulikov from the Republic of Azerbaijan and Ms. Marian Feldman of the Republic of Austria. While accepting Ambassador Feldman's letters of credence, President Granger said that the relationship between Guyana and Austria, which was established in April 1973, has been cemented by their active engagement in the Caribbean Forum and the European Union, CARIFORUM EU, and the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, European Union, CELAC EU mechanisms.
These engagements have facilitated our collective pursuit of programs of cooperation and the advancement of our mutual interests. A solid foundation has been established for the intensification of cooperation between Guyana and Austria. Excellency, Guyana is moving towards the establishment of a green state. The green state is one that will place emphasis on the preservation of our biodiversity, protection of our environment, the provision of ecotourism and eco-educational services.
Ambassador Feldman said that while bilateral trade between the two countries is of a very small scale, there is massive potential for growth, particularly in the area of clean energy.
It has also been the catalyst for the Caribbean Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, which is being created together with NIDO and will have the headquarters in Barbados.
On Sunday, the head of state attended St. Luke's Presbyterian Church 175th anniversary service in Iflet, West Coast Demerara, where he called on churches of all denominations and faiths and all Guyanese to start a new movement built on the 4 pillars of the village movement: the school, the church, the home, and the farm.
To examine closely and carefully what happened in 1838 and how it was that these 80,000 freed men and women were inspired to save their money to start this beautiful village movement.
The congregation was reminded of the wisdom of their foreparents and urged to work together to ensure that the foundation built by their ancestors is not destroyed.
And I warn you, my brothers, that if you kick those pillars down, the village will collapse. If you kick those pillars down, the school, the building will collapse, will fall. And if you go into any community and the schools are empty, the churches are empty, the farms are overgrown, and the homes are broken, you're dealing with catastrophe.
60 years ago, on October 5, 1957, the People's National Congress was established, and as the party celebrates 60 years of existence this month, the party has planned a number of activities. Leader of the party, President David Granger, kick-started the events on Sunday with a tree planting exercise on Burnham Drive in Wismar Linden in Upper Demerara, Berbice, Region 10. There he called for a commitment to environmental protection and greater consciousness of Guyana's place in the Guyana Shield. President Granger told those gathered that while 85% of the nation's forests remains intact, there is a need for a move towards more sustainable mining and forestry practices.
We must make sure we replant the trees that we cut down so that we would regenerate. And I'd like to refer you to the remarks of His Worship the Mayor. You're not doing this for yourself, you know. You're doing this for your picnic them. You're doing it for the picnic. So This exercise is very important, and I refer to Guyana as the green state because we need to protect our biodiversity and our wildlife.
The head of state, who recently returned from attending the United Nations General Assembly, the Minamata Convention on Mercury First Conference of Parties in Geneva, Switzerland, and visits to the William J. Perry Center for Hemispheric Defense Studies and the Inter-American Defense Board, told PNC members and residents of the community that what happened in places like Barbuda, Dominica, and the British Virgin Islands is comparable to the effects of war.
Climate change and global warming are contributory factors to the damage, to the destruction, and to the deaths which are being caused, particularly in this region.
While in the mining town, the president attended the recommissioning of the PNC's Congress House in Mackenzie. Following the ceremonial cutting of the ribbon, which officially recommissioned the building, Mayor of Linden, Mr. Carwin Holland, handed over bicycles to 27 students who gained more than 500 marks in the National Grade 6 Assessment, NGSA. On Thursday, President Granger also attended the 60th anniversary celebration of the founding of the People's National Congress, where he reminded those gathered of the party's fight at the political level against colonial domination and independence. As the world celebrated Teachers' Day, the president also reflected on the contributions of the PNC to education in Guyana.
The University of Guyana campus at Turkine, the Silpata College of Education, the technical institutes, the various multilateral schools around the country. So it is really a blessed day, and we're very happy to celebrate Teachers' Day on such a day.
It is always good to say thank you. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of This Week with the President. Thank you for joining me. For regular updates on the Ministry of the Presidency, go to our website, www.motp.gov.gy. Like our Facebook page, Ministry of the Presidency, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MOTP Guyana. Do have a safe and productive rest of the week. Goodbye.